Okay, so we're gonna check the lenses. We're gonna make sure that they're not cracked, they're all visible, they're all the right color, and they're clean. Then we're gonna move over here. We're gonna check the clearance lights, make sure that they're all present and clean, and they're all the right color. We're gonna check our fluids, come up to the coolant reservoir and check the coolant reservoir, make sure that it's within range. We won't open it when it's hot, and if we need to fill it, we'll fill it up at the black cap up there. And then we'll move on to the power steering fluid. We'll make sure that it's within range. If we need to add fluid, we'll add it in that black cap right there. We'll check the hoses, make sure that they're all properly mounted. Secured on both ends, there's no fraying, cracks, or fluids leaking. Then we'll check underneath. We'll check the engine oil pan, transmission pan, make sure there's no leaking or puddles underneath. We'll move on to the hoses. We'll make sure that there's no damage or fraying or leaking coming from the hoses. We'll check all the hoses. We'll grab all the ones available. We'll also pull out the dipstick on the engine oil, make sure that it is within range. If we need to add it, we'll add it right there. We will move on to the tire. Check the tire tread depth. Check the sidewalls, make sure that there's no body ply showing and there's no gouges or cuts. Tread depth, and make sure that it's no less than 4/32. Check that with the tire tread depth gauge. And then we'll move on to the inflation. We'll make sure that the valve stem is there. There's a cap on it. It's easily accessible. We'll check the tire pressure with a tire pressure gauge and make sure there's no hissing coming from there. We'll check the wheels, make sure that it's not bent, it's not damaged, there's no visible weld repair. And then we'll move on to the lug nuts, make sure that they're all there. There's no visible thread, shiny thread showing or rust emanating, because that would indicate that there is loose lug nuts. Make sure that there's no oblong holes on the lug nuts. Then we'll move inside, we'll check the arms, rods, and links, make sure that they are present and securely mounted. Check. Then we'll move on to the leaf springs. We'll make sure that they're all there. There's no scissoring or splitting. Make sure that they're all properly mounted. And that the steering is, or that the stance is right and it's not leaning side to side or front to back. And then we'll move on to the steering box, gearbox. We'll make sure that it's there, properly mounted, all the bolts are there. Make sure that the hoses are properly mounted and there's no fraying, cuts, or leaks. And then we'll move on to make sure that the cotter pin's there, all the bolts and the cotter pin's there, the joints, or there's no damage. And then we'll move on to the shock absorber, make sure there's no damage, that it's not leaking, and that it's properly mounted. Move on to the brake system, make sure that the brakes are, all the brake hoses are there, there's no fraying, no leaking. Look inside, check the brakes and pads, make sure there's no contaminants.